Hi, my name is Gerhard Gschwandtner, and welcome to Selling Power TV. Today, we have the privilege and pleasure of meeting with Chris Orlob. He is the founder and CEO of pclub.io. Welcome, Chris.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
When did you have the idea to create this?
I was actually back in 2014. Didn't start building it until 2022, but a big piece of our business was inspired by a company called Pluralsight. They're an online education company for engineers and IT people and like technical people. And me and my co-founder at the time noticed them kind of blowing up, and we thought, why doesn't this business model exist for the revenue function, where you've got the best revenue experts in the world teaching very specific skills inside of a platform that individuals can sign up for as well as businesses. And we built it, started building it about 2.5 years ago, and we've had a lot of fun since then.
Explain the business model. How is it different?
Today, we are in what I would call a revenue skills crisis, where skill capacity across the revenue function, from AEs to SDRs to CSMs to account managers, is dangerously low and shallow. Shallow, weak discovery calls, point-and-click feature tours. They're single-threaded instead of multi-threaded. They're struggling to access power. And the question is why? There are three macro factors that contributed to this. One is the economy flipped overnight. Right? Just a few years ago, we were in the ZIRP era, the zero interest rate policy, where everybody was buying. And then we suddenly shifted into this new skills crisis economy where buying decisions were harder, right? They're scrutinized, they're made way up here, bigger buying committees, more risk-averse buying committees, and yet skills haven't caught up. Number two, at the exact same time, the revenue workforce went remote. It has stifled skill acquisition because you have an entire generation of sellers who have entered the workforce and they're selling from their bedrooms. They're getting minimal coaching. They're getting minimum peer learning, minimum training, and they're selling in an economy that demands very high skill. And then the final factor is buyer sophistication has skyrocketed in the last few years because of AI and what have you, and yet seller sophistication hasn't. What's the solution? Well, we like to say we're disrupting legacy sales training. We're a platform plus revenue transformation services. As an AE or a rep, you can log in and you can learn any skill that you want. And every one of those skills is taught by the best revenue expert on the planet for that skill. You can then practice that skill with AI simulations. And then you get to show up to live experiences that help you continue to move from learning a skill to doing a skill. What most sales training organizations focus on is the training part. But when you deconstruct skill transformation, you've got to diagnose the skills, you've got to train the skills, you've got to practice the skills, you got to get the reps to do the skills, and then you've got to reinforce and measure all of that. So we're analyzing skills in our platform so that you can understand where there's weak spots in your organization. You're using the platform to deploy which training you need, right? So if we analyze that you're weak at accessing power, well, we have a precision training program just to address that one weak spot. Then you can go into the platform, practice with an AI simulation. And then there's elements to the platform plus services that really go deep on reinforcing everything so that you're institutionalizing new behavior across your organization, and then you're measuring the impact that it has on revenue.
What has been in your business the most difficult part that you couldn't imagine before you started?
We have to produce a lot of courses because we create one course for every skill. And we're trying to cover every role that exists and every segment that exists, right? We're coming up on 100 courses. So creating very high quality, very impactful courses is really hard because we recruit course authors externally, right? Like these aren't P-Club employees. We go find the best person in the world at a given skill. And so finding those people and then working with them to build a course, which is probably not something they've ever done before, it's actually pretty hard. especially if you want to meet a very high quality bar, which, we're committed to doing. We're never going to release a course that is just good.
How long are those courses typically?
It depends on the topic, but most of them are between 60 to 90 minutes total. They're broken down into like 10 lessons. So it's like 5, 6, 7 minutes per lesson. Very consumable, very easy for a busy salesperson to fit in on a daily basis if they wanted to.
Imagine the exercises in between.
We try to keep those pretty focused. These AI simulations, instead of simulating like a full 30-minute discovery call, which very few people are going to do, we just take slices of it. So 2 minutes to practice your agenda setting, 2 minutes to practice quantifying pain, 2 minutes to, secure next steps, that kind of thing. Very laser focused on behavior transformation.
I would imagine you give people a lot of different options for handling objections.
There's different types of objections to handle, right? You've got objections on a cold call, which have to be overcome within seconds. And then you've got objections in a negotiation call, which is probably something that can take 5 or 10 minutes to overcome. That's why we create these different courses for different scenarios. We don't have just like an objection handling course because it's too generic.
Is there a skill set that you teach to impact the hidden decision makers that you don't have access to?
One of our course authors is named Nate Nasrallah. He teaches a few courses on champion development and business case creation and how to manage your champions so that they can sell on your behalf when you're not in the room to somebody you've probably never met and somebody you probably don't even know is influencing the decision.
If a course is 60 minutes long, how much time do salespeople spend on average rehearsing those skills in AI simulations?
The individuals who sign up for our platform, they all go at different speeds, right? Some people go slow, some people go lightning fast. When we're working with businesses though, we typically standardize on one course every 60 days, right? Their entire team's going through the same thing, and they'll take plenty of time to go through it because there's plenty of reinforcement that needs to happen, right? The last thing we want anybody to do is go binge watch a bunch of courses like they're watching White Lotus on Netflix or something like that. Instead, you're going to take a few lessons, you're going to go into a role play, you're going to practice it, you're going to go use it. And then you're going to go take your next few lessons, you're going to go into an AI simulation, you're going to practice it, you're going to use it, and then you're going to repeat instead of taking the full course in a couple days and being done with it. Our goal is not training. It's not even just skills. It's revenue transformation.
Give me a couple of client success stories.
Yeah, I was just talking about a bunch of these earlier today. So there was a cybersecurity company called LifeRaft. I think we helped them grow their average deal size from 55 grand to 70 grand, which is significant, right? $15,000 and more cash per deal across hundreds of deals. Pretty good ROI. There's another company called Proposify, which is like a revenue tech company. We help them improve plus 28% on outbound close rates and plus 11% on outbound pipeline generation. Money in the bank.
As an entrepreneur, I'm really interested in how you balance the challenge of creating new things that bring more customers to selling and create more customers.
That's where our cash flow goes. We're a mostly bootstrapped organization. We did raise a small amount of capital when we got started, but we haven't burnt any of it. So we've been cash flow positive basically since day one. And, we've grown to multiple millions of dollars worth of revenue per year within just a few years. That's our growth model, right? We generate revenue. That revenue has cash. And instead of distributing that cash, we just reinvest it into the business.
What do you see 2 decades from now?
2 decades from now, I want our business to create the category of revenue transformation. Just like Accenture owns digital transformation and does $60 billion per year, I think we have a similar opportunity to build and own revenue transformation and do it platform and technology first with services that support it. I see us owning the entire revenue workforce transformation stack. So skill transformation is part of that, but so is talent transformation as well as revenue execution. So I know that's like big and broad and not very detailed, but I've got it all written down.
Well, congratulations on your success. Where should people go next to learn more?
You can either connect with me or follow me on LinkedIn, right? Just search Chris Orlob. I'm the only Chris Orlob out there as far as I know. Or if you're more directly interested in transforming your revenue organization, just head over to pclub.io. So that's PCLUB.io, short for President's Club. And you can go check that out.
Well, thank you so much, Chris. That was fascinating.
Thanks, Gerhard.